Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts, and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for the Mouse-Merized Cat, released in 1946. It's the 485th in the series, and you can find this beautiful new restoration on HBO Max. And with me today is my fellow mouse, I suppose, as we watch this very long opening in Massachusetts. It's Austin Kelly. Say hi.
Hi, very glad to be here for one of the great Bob McKimson's earliest directorial efforts.
In case you haven't seen this one, you've got the Abbott and Costello mice. So you've got the Abbott mouse trying to hypnotize the Costello mouse, and after Costello does a few different impressions, he's then sent out to go after the cat. And that's pretty much it. So what you're about to see is a re-edit of an audio commentary I did with Austin Kelly before I had to take it down due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal. So grab some popcorn and enjoy.
Cut it out, Babette.
Yeah, man, this is a good one. And for those of you who are familiar with Frank Tashlin, I mean, I think you are a Frank Tashlin fan, Austin. I don't know. I'll have to confirm that. No, just kidding, of course. Yeah, these are the same two mice from A Tale of Two Mice, directed by Frank Tashlin, although he was uncredited there. Yeah, look, I like how, you see, in this one, it's very cinematic for a McKimson cartoon, because we all know his later cartoons become more or less, well, I don't want to use the word stale, but they're definitely not as dramatic or cinematic as these earlier efforts that he's done. But was McKimson on like involved with A Tale of Two Mice at all? I'm just trying to remember. I don't think he was he.
It's a complicated thing because the general consensus is that he was just trying to get everything that Tashlin left behind out the door, kind of how Art Davis was trying to rush through everything that Clampett had, and that's why Bacall to Arms is such a mess. But I think what people tend to say is that most of the last few Tashlin cartoons are mostly Tashlin because they were mostly completed by the time McKimson stepped into the unit, except for, you know, Hair Remover, which is obviously kind of a rough and incomplete cartoon. But I think the short answer is A Tale of Two Mice is more Tashlin than it is McKimson, obviously.
Maybe McKimson just happened to really like the idea of these two mice and just decided, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go, but do it all of it myself this time, and put his own spin on it, which I think he does pretty well. As we see Bing Crosby, we see Frank Sinatra, a parody where he was really thin at the time, and they've really gone to the extreme there with the stick figure, literally. Jimmy Durante is right there with the big schnoz, of course, as he always has been, and Eddie Rochester, who was pretty popular at the time and has caused many a cartoon to be not seen these days, sadly, whenever he gets parodied. But this one is a mouse, so I guess it's good enough. Let me ask you this, Austin, do you feel that this cartoon does take a while to get started with his actual plot? We don't even see the cat till like the last third, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying, but I think what people don't understand when they're looking at a cartoon like this, or, you know, like a Clampett cartoon from the late 30s, is that they're cartoons, right? And they aren't you don't have to put as much work into them as you would a feature film, where you have to do casting with real life actors and everything, where, you know, where they have to be on screen. But a lot of work was put into these, and McKimson, you know, as good as an animator he was pretty inexperienced with directing as far as, you know, directing a cartoon went by the time he would have been working on this.
It's interesting how both mice and the cat in this have pretty much the same designs. Do you know if McKimson did?
It's definitely interesting to compare the two because you have basically the same crew of animators and the same guy doing the music and the same people doing the layouts. Well, you don't have the same people doing the layouts, but the main difference, of course, is that there are two different directors at work. It's interesting to you know, compare the two and see how they would approach a type of cartoon with these two mice that are supposed to be parodying two of the most famous comedy stars of the day. I mean, it's interesting. I know people tend to choose the Tashlin one over the McKimson one, but I like them both for what they are, but Anthony, I'd be interested to see or hear about which one you prefer.
That's a good question. See, I prefer the Tashlin one, but as you mentioned, Tashlin had been directing for a fair few years now, and would now move on to feature films, whereas McKimson was just starting out as a director, so clearly he was still figuring things out. And, despite the unevenness of this one, there's a lot to love about it, especially the animation on the Costello mouse and the cat and all that stuff. So this one, I'm giving it a nice, 7 out of 10. I think it's a very nice cartoon, but out of the two, yeah, the Tashlin one reigns supreme.
Which way did they go? Which way did they go?
Them sidewinding bushwhacking varmints went that away. Hit 'em off at the pass.
Hi-ho, Sliver! Away!
I mean, I think it takes a little bit too long. I also think that the opening, as pretty as the backgrounds are and as cool as the music is, takes a little bit too long too. It's almost like a seventh or an eighth of the cartoon. The opening takes alone, that opening truck in. So yeah, I don't think it works very well, but I'm all for experimentation in films, especially being a filmmaker myself. But for what it is, I do like this cartoon. It's a pretty good early effort by McKimson. I think it's got some good animation in it too. So yeah, not bad.
Exactly, I do like that the face of the cat when he just smashes through the window is pretty good, I thought. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
Down where the trade winds play.
Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway. Hello, Mr. Benny. I'm stuck up here in Harlem at my grandmother's house. Roll about, Granny. You're fading. Oh, come now, boss. Oh, I'm a bad boy.